Cheers, queers! What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today, we're going to be discussing the first 4 episodes of The Fire.
Woo!
Woo!
I like your new thing for the fire.
It's Fai and her father's little hand thing when they did the fist bump.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Fireball.
Love it.
We will get into that. So, hello and welcome. I hope you out there are enjoying The Fire. This is the last installment of the 4 elements, which is very bittersweet. It's bitter because this is the last 4 element, but it's sweet because this is, in my opinion, the superior element, the fire. And today we're going to be reviewing the first 4 episodes, so this will not be a scene-by-scene breakdown. Obviously, this will be kind of like we did with The Air. We're just going to go through the first 4 episodes. We'll be focusing on the series itself. Full disclosure, I have read the novel. Kaitlynn has not. There will be no novel spoilers in here. We will be focusing on the series. If you're interested in more information about the novel, we will be doing a book club that will come out towards the end of The Fire, so stay tuned for novel stuff later. If you want more information or more content about The Fire, we have been reacting to the series. You can find all the episodes on our Patreon. I would say go to YouTube, but we've got copyright strikes and our content has been taken down. So we tried putting stuff on YouTube, but it was removed for copyright reasons. So fortunately, click the link, go to our Patreon. You can get it all there.
I will say we were hoping to get them restored at some point, so maybe there's some over there, but Patreon's your best bet to actually get the full video and actually have a fun time watching it.
Yeah, we tried, but it's been a joy getting through this show. It's been very fun. I'm very sad it's halfway over, but we're getting to all the fun stuff now, so bittersweet is the theme.
Yes.
Okay, and so let's just get into it. So this is the story where we're finally learning about Fai. Fai has been showing up throughout this whole saga of the 4 elements. We're finally getting to focus on her. So what do you think about Fai so far, halfway through her story?
Okay, so I will say, Fai throughout the other elements. Love her. She causes chaos. It's great. Wonderful. The first 2 episodes, I was like, damn, am I gonna like her? Like, she is something, man. She is something. And then, like, episode 3, I kind of saw what they were doing because they actually tell you what they're doing. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. I will throw out any misconceptions that I had of her and go back into this with a new mind. So, it's very, very easy for you to write her off in the beginning and, like, think she's a terrible human being because that's the way they literally portray her.
Yeah.
However, I have been doing a lot of thinking about her and reading other people's things, like, give her a chance, or, like, that's to other characters too, who I refuse to give a chance right now. We'll get into it. But overall, before I get too much into this, I do love Fai. She is still a child at heart with some childish ways. She needs to grow up. I think
Correct.
She's going to learn to grow up throughout the next 4 episodes. Maybe she might not grow up fully because, she's still young. She's not going to, like, she's in her 20s.
Correct.
I'm also in my 20s. It's hard to even know when you're an adult. Like, I believe she's younger than me at this point. I think she's in very early 20s right now.
I actually don't remember how old they're supposed to be honest. Maybe he's like 24, 25.
We had a comment tell us exactly how old, but I completely forget. So sorry. But yeah, like, you're in such a weird point of your life where you're like, you're an quote adult, but you don't feel like an adult and you don't really know how to be an adult. So she's learning a lot, and I think it's interesting to see her grow emotionally too.
That's the biggest thing for Fai. Because if you look at Fai, who Fai is she's intense, hot-headed, and fiercely protective, which are all the qualities I love in characters. So Fai is my favorite because I love all of that about her. But you're right, she is immature. That is the thing. it has been pointed out to her by multiple characters that she is in fact immature. So this is a coming of age kind of story, like in your adulthood, becoming mature. And the thing about Fai too is if you watch a lot of her actions and her dialogue, she also seems super paranoid and quick to assume the worst in people. So
I wonder why.
I smell trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I smell a specific character getting in her head. But again,
Also that. But anyway, those characteristics: intense, hot-headed, fiercely protective, territorial. Fai could have been a shadow daddy if this was a fantasy story. I'm just throwing that out there. Other reason I love her. Okay, and then going into the story, so now we're getting to know her a little bit better. We're halfway through, so she's starting to evolve, notice things about herself, her actions, behavior, feelings, etc. But we also learn about her family, because honestly, her family was the one we knew the least about until they're like, oh, by the way, Fai just owns this island she forgot about. So we don't really know much about her family. So we're also learning about like her dad, what her mother died. She was raised by her aunt. And I think overall with this series, they, unlike The Air, I think this series did a good job with world building, because the opening scenes for episode 1 are Acme, her dad. And I think it did a good job establishing like who he is, because we know the least about him, and what their family does, which was like they have all these businesses and they're very successful. Like he was being honored immediately for like his job as a local businessman. And it shows you like the good and bad that goes on with that. So I like the way it opened. It was like, this is Fai's family. You're going to need to know them because the family's relevant to the story. And it sets the tone for like why Fai is the way she is. Because like, I mean, look at the people that raised her, you know?
yes. As you go, you see similarities between her and the people who raised her, basically.
Yes.
And you understand more of her, and like it's not that she wants to be like this. Like this is just how she was raised.
Mhm.
Like she's prone to act like the fire because that's the people who raised her.
Correct. Yeah. So I think the show does a really good job of establishing all of that. And also the way, overall, I will say, having read the novel, not a spoiler, but this story, in my opinion, has the best pacing in terms of how the story is revealed. And the show is doing a good job matching that, which to me makes it a very engaging story. Because even you were just saying, oh, I'm seeing more of like who Fai is when you're peeling back the onion layer. And it's like, that's how they structure the story, which is my favorite way to structure a story when it's a character focused story, which is this one. It's a lot like The Water, where it's very character focused, not situational focused like The Air, because they're trying to escape danger. And one thing they do extremely well is incorporate flashbacks into the story that help establish the current situation surrounding Fai, her family, Kaproa, all of that. So I love A, the flashbacks they choose, and then B, how they're incorporating them into the story.
Yeah, I do as well. And like those are basically what's making me change my mind about Fai, and like you said, like understand her more, because that's literally what they're doing. Like we get bits and pieces of what actually happened, and then it's like one point of view, and then you actually see the other point of view of that flashback, and you're like, oh, that wasn't the full story. Like
Correct.
even non-flashbacks, like initially we're led to believe that Fai had ordered like the Kaproa, is that how you say it? Kaproa?
Kaproa.
Kaproa's bike to be thrown out just out of spite and hatred
Mhm.
of her. But then Uncle Yod reveals it was
Outside.
because the bike yeah, because it was dangerous. So Fai ordered it to be thrown out. So Fai was actually worried about her safety. And
Yep.
then when they were little, we were led to believe that Fai took Kaproa out in the middle of the night as kids just to like scare her. But she was actually just trying to get her a doll from this very creepy doll
Okay, I understand that that was supposed to be like a ghost, but like to me watching that, I'm like, okay, these are children who are remembering this as a ghost, and I was like, okay, in reality, it was probably some drunk person doing a séance.
Wait,
Like what did they stumble upon exactly?
that was supposed to be a ghost? Okay, so
Yeah, it's supposed to be a ghost.
I have a theory. This is a really bad theory. But I have a theory that the scary person was actually the aunt. And like
Oh
somehow the aunt put Fi
fuck!
up to doing this.
She got too much
Like,
free time on her hand.
well, no, just like to scare like the little
Yeah.
one. And she put Fi up like, oh, why don't you go get her a doll? And from this like creepy doll thing.
So
And,
it's plausible. However, I would say that Aunt Pawnee would never put Fi in danger. Like she would never try to scare Fi on purpose. But
that's fair.
she would definitely do that to Prout. Like, but she would never do that to Fi. Never.
That's
But
fair.
that would be really funny if the aunt had way too much free time. But yeah, no, some drunk bitch in the forest doing a seance is my headcanon for like what they actually stumbled upon, and then in their brains they're like, that was obviously a ghost.
Yeah. But like for that scene in general, like what was actually happening was that Fi was really just trying to get her a doll. So I guess she stumbled upon this seance being set up. And
The seance, drunk bitch seance, yeah.
I don't know how she stumbled upon these dolls, and she's like, proud, there's dolls out there. And so like it was actually both of them being scared that night. And it was really Kaproa's inaction of telling the father what really happened that made Fi get into trouble. But again, like she's a child. Like she's just terrified right now. She's paralyzed with fear because of what she just saw. But it would have helped a lot if she would have just been like, no, she was just taking me to get a doll.
Yeah, and now does it make more sense in the present when Fi's like, I was always getting in trouble because of you? Because like, look at the way people jump to conclusions.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, again, the story is really well paced, and I love the way it's done. And you're right, they do play with point of view. Like it's like GMMTV could have produced this story and like had a ball with it, because yeah, the point of view matters, and like you need everybody's point of view to put the whole story together, and like that's what will happen as this continues to unfold. Because nothing is as it seems on the surface, nothing, and that's what, to me, I love stories like that. It makes it way more interesting. And then when you go back and watch it, like you can see like, oh, like you like see what's actually happening once you have that understanding of like what they're thinking in the moment and like what their actual motivations are. And you go back and watch it and you're like, damn, there's so much more here that I missed because I just surface level was just bamboozled by the first layer of the onion, but the other layers make it more interesting.
I'm really curious to see if there's more to the story of Fi locking Kaproa in the cooler truck. Or if like, because I mean that was truly an accident. We saw her just close it. She never expected someone to lock it and drive away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think
She
she
did
would
not
have.
expect that. No, she did not.
But also, I wonder if, because we saw there's also a scene where Kaproa's being bullied by these kids saying like you have no parents,
Fuck
something like that,
those
which is
kids.
those
Oh my
children were
God.
awful.
Awful little fuckers.
And poor little Prow is just that poor girl. I'm surprised she's as well adjusted as she is right now. But we'll get into her. But Fi comes and saves her and pushes the boy down, which he deserves so much more.
And
then but like I just mean in general that I wonder if she bullied her at home and like threw her, because I'm thinking back to the scene where she just threw her toys on the ground, ripped her toy. I wonder if she was trying to make her more fierce and like fight back for herself. Yep. So she didn't get bullied in school.
That's exactly what she was doing, because that's why she's always saying, I told you not to be weak. Fi has issues with communicating. She can't communicate well, but like, so you have to understand like what she's actually saying when she says things, because she's so blunt, and like Nam said it, she's like, do these words even pass through your brain before you say them? And the answer is no. They're just very like intense initial thoughts to just come out of her. And so yeah, that is exactly what Fi is doing. But my favorite part of that scene is that she bit the child.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
she bit that kid. So like she's so feral. Like I love that. Like if that's not love, I don't know what it is. She just bit a child for you. Like she didn't need to do that. She was already winning and she bit that kid. Which is so
It's also
funny.
that kid
That's
had
so
no
funny.
reflexes and like awareness of what was about to happen because it takes some time to get her mouth on
She
his
fucking
level
bit him.
and bite him.
Why so funny? Don't fuck with her. Again, that's why the other reason I love these two is like they might get violent. You don't know. Like I love that about them. Uh anyway, so just to wrap up the flashback thing, the other thing I like about flashbacks in this show is that they're not overused at all.
Mhm.
So I think they're very strategic, well done. They add to the story. One of my favorite things is how they edit them too. My favorite one is to piggyback off of basically the scene you were talking about where they stumble upon the doll seance or whatever. And in the present, where Fai is trying to signal, Fai recognizes they're outnumbered, first of all, and she draws the drunk men trying to sexually harass Prow. She draws their attention to her and then covertly signals to Prow, run, because I'm distracting them. And then we get the flashback sequence. And then when they start running, we get the flashback back to when they were kids and they were running, and Fai was dragging, because Prow's like, I can't run. So Fai takes it on herself to drag Prow while she's running. And then you like get the same thing in the present, and the way they intercut that, so good. Like this one, I really love the way the production team did this show. I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah, they definitely did this show very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beautifully shot in general. Like
It
I gotta
is.
say, the production quality in Thai Girl Loves has just been increasing.
Yes, agreed. Come a long way since Gap, everyone.
Yes. And we say that because you can literally see the light sources if
You
you
can
can watch their Gap
absolutely
coverage.
see spotlights in almost every shot.
And so now it's just like we're getting very cinematic productions and just very well lit, even dynamic when it needs to be. You can see things that you need to see, but that's just the thing against Western
Yeah,
stuff,
Western
where you
media,
can't see
you
anything.
can't see shit at night. Yeah, fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, since we're on this train, I'll talk about this now. So that picture I shared with you, Kaitlynn, one of my absolute favorite production moments besides that flashback and the way they cut it is, it's actually all from episode 3. So it's to continue that scene, that whole sequence is great. So when they make it to the beach and they chat, and then Fai gets up and then puts her arm out. It's obviously a magical moment where it's like the olive branch moment. But the shot goes back to Prow and it lingers on her. And like, okay, I shared it with you. I'll put it on the screen so people can see it. But looking at that, like, what do you notice about the way that shot's like lit specifically?
It's very golden. It's almost as if like she's recognizing something for the first time.
Okay.
And I don't know, it looks like she's catching feels.
Okay. So I think all that is true. So what I noticed from this particular frame is that the light is orange, like a fire. And it's like a warm hearth fire, like a comforting fire. And I think that's deliberate because once you get to know them a little bit better, like Prowl, like Fai is like the warmth, because her name is literally Fire. So like it's a moment with the fire, but it's like this comforting type of fire. So it's a warm kind of light that resembles a fire. Like it could have been, like, if you look at the lighting in that scene, it's like those like fairy bulbs. So it could have been more yellow, but it's orange. And I think that's deliberate. It's supposed to be like a comforting, like hearth type of fire. Because Fai was being nice in that scene. Like Fai saved her from the dudes. And then Prowl said thank you. And then here's Fai doing a gesture that is like a good gesture where she's offering to help her get up. Right. So like I think that lighting is really deliberate. And that really struck me. And I was like, damn, this production team did a really good job of like understanding the source material, first of all, and enhancing it for the screen adaptation versus changing shit to make it more situational, which North Star has done for previous iteration, like 4 element stories. So like this particular frame is so breathtakingly beautiful, and like symbolic of like how Prow feels and like how Fai makes her feel. It just by the way it's lit. So I love that so much.
Yeah, now that you bring it up, that's a really good point. And you can tell a lot of care has been taken because lighting tells a huge part of the story.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah. And exactly. This Fai is the warm fire. That's what that's supposed to mean. All right. So speaking of Fai and Kaproa, all right. So now we get into their story a little bit. And do you think they're an equal match for each other?
Oh, hell yeah.
Right.
Those two, first of all, you see them both fight each other. Like, they're both very much similar in the ways that they defend themselves. They tease the other one. They just go head to head and they match each other very well. I would say when they were younger, Prow was much weaker. She couldn't stand up for herself. But you saw her start hitting her when the toy thing, and she hit her back. Like, so she was always trying to match her. She looked up to her since the very beginning.
Yes.
And now they're on equal level because she did learn to fight back for herself. She learned life lessons growing up, and
she's a freaking black belt.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my god. Like,
that fight back, not just verbal sparring with Fai. I would describe them as they're no sugar and allspice. Like, that's their relationship.
Yes. Right now, definitely.
The first 4 episodes, yeah.
Yeah, there's like, you can get like a sprinkle of sugar, but immediately the fire burns it out.
No, they're both so equally stubborn. Like, Fai's out here. Is it like, who said it? Rose? Was it Rose or Lotta? No, I think in the show it was Lotta who says it, where she's like, Fai, if you're doing the thing where you're teasing her because you like her, stop it. That's so outdated. Because that's what children do. And that's exactly what Fai is doing. Like, Fai is trying to elicit a reaction with her behavior. And when Kaproa withholds it, that's the reaction. That's when Fai keeps pushing until she gets a reaction. So I love that. But Prow is just as stubborn as Fai, and that's what makes it fun to watch them go head to head because they're always trying to outmaneuver each other, but like nobody will give up because they're both so fucking stubborn.
Yeah, it's very true. And I'm proud of Kaproa for like not standing down because she is at a place where she could be at a lower level than Fai because she's coming into this house. Like, she's not blood family.
Yeah, like, she technically is. Yeah.
Yeah, Fai's father basically just tried to adopt her, and Fai was like, no.
Yes.
I'm an only child. Thank you very much. And so, like, it very well could have been where she'd be like, oh, I'm weak. I'm, like, not weak, but, like, I have to revert to whatever you want. Like, you have the power here. No, she's like, I belong here just as much as you do. And I love that she's like that.
Yeah, well, in order for somebody to woo Fai, they have to be as, like, fucking confident and headstrong as she is. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Like, so they're, like, her dynamic with Prow, I would compare it to the water the most because it's a curiosity-driven type of relationship in the present. So it's like, Fai is like, why aren't you acting the same way you did when we were children? Like, why are you unpredictable to me? Like, that's why Nam was into Lotta, because she's like, why can't I predict you? You're a wild card. Mm-hmm. And like, Prow is the same way. Like, Fai's like, oh, you're going to be weak and whimper. And then when Prow doesn't do that, Fai's like, what the hell? Like, so that's why she keeps like kind of pushing. And meanwhile, like, Prow's out here just trying to like live life. And like, Fai's just like poking her constantly. And she's like, girl.
I do feel for Prow though, because that girl is a fighter, literally and figuratively, because she had to go through losing her parents as a child, being adopted into another family, and then being ousted from the family because of their birth child. Like, yeah, she had things paid for her growing up, so like she didn't have to worry about money. But she didn't have a home. She didn't have a place where she belonged.
No,
she made herself a home with friends at school. but she's still like losing. She lost everything as a child.
Everything. She lost everything.
And was bullied constantly at home, at school.
Yes.
So like that girl, to
She's
be able
tough.
to be where she is today, she had to be resilient.
Yes.
And she had to fight for herself. I mean, that's what Fai was doing in her own way of like trying to get her to fight. But I don't think she ever expected her to be this resilient in life.
No, not at all. Well, because she didn't have their only reference from each other was when they were like 8 and 7 or whatever. So
Yeah.
then Prowl comes back. So then Prowl has to go to work with Fai. And like well, first of all, she's the dad's supposed to teach her, and then Fai's like, fuck no. I'll teach her, dad. And then she goes with like Fai, and then Fai's like, yeah, I'll teach you. And she like gives her stupid assignments meant to just push her buttons and make her give up. And so, what did you think of that, like, the first day on the job where she's like, go get those receipts. Oh, wait, I already had them. Or, like, count rocks. Oh, wait.
Well, this is at the point where I'm still like, Fai, you're a terrible person, girl. You're just, why
But
are
now
we
that you
doing
have
this?
the context of her, though, better, though, does it change?
I think she was trying to like teach her work ethic in a way too, but she doesn't have any herself right now, so I don't really know if that's true.
No.
I think she was just trying to make things harder. I mean, she made her walk to the other side of like the
She made her cross a fucking mountain.
Yeah. With
basically
an umbrella that I on my rewatch noticed that it was fully broken.
Yes.
So it was like barely covering her from the sun.
Mhm.
So it was her being childish, honestly.
Yes.
I feel
Fai
like,
is
so.
childish. Yeah, exactly. I think it's always what I like about their dynamic too is it's always playing games. It's like cat and mouse kind of games. But like who's the cat and who's the mouse is the question. It's very, very a la Killing Eve. That's why I like this dynamic so much, because it's very fun. Because you never know who actually has the power. So like in that scenario where like Fai's like, oh yeah, count rocks. Sometimes we sell it by the rock, which like, girl. So after like Prowl learns that is in fact not how this works. Instead, like, because Fai was like, get mad at me. And then Prowl's like, no, I'm going to kill you with kindness instead of being mad at you, because that's what Fai expects her to do. Once she starts being super nice, like, if you watch Fai very closely, like, Fai had no idea what to do with that. Like, when Prowl was like, she flips the table and she's like, bitch, I have all the power now. If Fai looks like out of her element, where she's like, starts getting super awkward when like Prowl is unpredictable to her. Which I love that. I think it's very fun because then you get to see like Fai off her game. Fai, who's always like, I'm in control of everything. And then Prowl throws her for a loop. She's like, fuck, I don't, thank you. What? She doesn't know what to do. And she gets really awkward. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's true. And like we were talking about the cousins putting her in her place and teasing her, but like I think Prow is doing an even better job than we could have expected from the cousins to do, because she needs someone in her life to put her in her place.
These are fun.
And like you said, you brought up, like they're a good match for each other.
Yes.
Because neither one is going to let the other one become too egotistical or like become too high and mighty. Be like, no, I'm going to knock you down a peg.
Correct.
But they're still willing to build each other up too in their own weird way.
In their weird way. Exactly. That's exactly. So yeah. So like when Prowl starts doing the killer with kindness thing, I think like to me, when I realized like how just off her game Fai was that like she lets Prowl drive the truck, which really surprised me because I'm like, that looks like her baby. Because that thing is always spickety span clean, and it's like you're in a dust bowl basically all the time. True. So like that, she takes care of that truck like it's her baby, and then she lets Prowl drive it. So I think that was just a testament to how like off her game she was when like Prowl was like, "I'll be super nice to you," and Fai's like, "What?"
She also noticed when something was like a little bit off with the truck and was like, "Here, fix this," and that's so. Yeah, she's very in tune with that truck. Oh, I hope nothing happens to that truck now.
But then like that never lasts though, because then Prow has the upper hand for like 5 minutes. She's driving the truck, and then eventually Fai gets the upper hand again and makes Prow apologize for trying to trick her, and then makes her dance, which Fai.
It is so hot out, and she's trying. She just does it too.
Yeah, like, she fucking does it.
That girl's willing to prove herself as well.
Yeah. Something I found really interesting about this exchange, though, is that, like, when Fai locks her out of the car and she's like, dance, Fai says, quote, Dad told me you took dance lessons and you were good. And I'm like, Fai, when did your dad tell you that information? Like, did he volunteer that, or did you ask about her? Because that's a really weird thing for Fai to know. You know what I mean?
It is.
It's a weird thing for her to know. I'm like, did you ask him? I don't see him just randomly bringing that up. I feel like she asked him for information.
Yeah, probably like, hey, how can I get in nice with her and like bond with her at work? Tell me all the things I need to know, but just trying to get intel on her that she can use against her.
That's the lies Fai tells herself, yes. Okay, but then I love when Prow is doing the dance, because the dance is fueled with so much rage. Like, it's like rage dancing. And her and Fai argue the entire dance, and it's so funny. I just love it. It's just angry dancing. It's hilarious.
I love how she's like, that's all they taught you? Or like,
right.
That's terrible.
I'm like, Fai, what are you, like an expert? Get out of here. But it was hilarious. Like, again, they're just ridiculous. Their bantering is so funny. And then I love later when they get home, because again, that whole sequence of them getting to the place, leaving the place, getting home, is just like, who has the power and who's fucking with who? Because then when they get home, I love when Proud chases Fai away with her body odor. Like, that was also fucking hilarious.
My favorite part is when Fai leaves and Prowl's walking back. She's like, oh, I do stink.
Yes, exactly. And I love that it did not turn into the typical romance, oh my god, she's close and suddenly I'm in love with her, because that would have made zero sense for these two at this point. So I'm really glad it was just literally Prowl being a brat and chasing Fai away, because yes, that makes sense. We don't need to do the staring every time we're inches away from each other's faces. Like, it could have been that. Thank you for not doing that, North Star. It wouldn't have made any sense.
That's a great point. You're very right about that. I didn't think about that, because like that was the first time that they're super close together.
Super close.
And it would have made zero sense, because at this point, Fai fully on, who is this imposter trying to get with my dad, which is another crazy storyline that everyone is thinking that she's her father's mistress now.
Poor Prow. But like, that is one of the things I love about this story in particular, and I'm glad North Star is doing a good job with it, which is that this is an actual like enemies to lovers story that feels authentic. Like, they actually hate each other, and like they have reasons to hate each other, and like things might get a little violent and physical between the two of them because they're so riled up, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I love the best scene. I love when Fai has no idea Prowl is a black belt, and she like twists her arm and is like, bitch, I'm a black belt. Fuck you. Like, I can literally kick your ass. I wish we had more scenes of Prowl kicking Fai's ass, because they were hilarious, and Fai deserves it.
Yes, I want to talk about that scene.
I love that scene,
because this is the scene when Fai tries to run Kaproa off the road.
Which, girl! That was fuck. Okay, apparently it's not just Prowl, because in episode 4, she literally almost runs into Bua and like stops short. And it's like, you see her in the road on a bike.
Does she? Or is she distracted while driving? Who knows?
Why? You shouldn't be driving then. Like, it's not her
think
first
we need
time.
to give her another road test.
I know. She shouldn't be driving.
But my favorite part of that scene is that Fai thinks that Kaproa is trying to get with her father. And Kaproa's like, you should start calling me mommy.
Oh my god, I love
like,
that.
Starts teasing her like that.
Hilarious.
So it was one of the first, not one of the first, but like a good time to like see that she's willing to give it right back to her and tease her
Yes.
just as much as it's the other way around. And it's the fact that she was like, you know what? I can't change what people think of me, but I can play into it. Start calling me
Exactly.
mommy.
I love that about her. It's so fun. That's what I mean. She flips the table, and Fai's like, I don't know what to do with this because I didn't see this coming. Hilarious. Yeah, I like when she puts Fai in her place. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, so it's like the thing about enemies to lovers is when that trope is done correctly and executed correctly, like they should have actual reasons to hate each other that feel authentic. And then where it changes is like this it like the pivot point for that trope is like when it's done correctly is respect. It's not just like, oh, she's pretty, he's pretty, they're pretty, whatever. Oh my god, feelings. It's a respect thing. Like it's like I begrudgingly respect you. And then from respect it transitions into more than just respect. So there is like a mutual connection that's deeper than just like hormones, you know? And that is how this is playing out. So like it's a very good enemies to lovers like story. And I think the fact that they have a childhood connection just like adds to it because it gives them a good background to fall back on, especially like, and I feel like that works the best in this scenario where they have 8 episodes to tell the story because like they can just give you a flashback to contextualize the present, and that makes the story work a little bit better for like these really short series.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Something else I love, and thank you again, production team, is the female gaze strikes again. So when we're learning about Fai in the first episode, we get the motocross scene, and we get the female gaze version of it, which is women putting on clothing as the female gaze, women taking them off as the male gaze. So we get Fai putting on her motorcycle helmet, which like a la Ioun and Pluto, which I love because it works for me personally, as I have a female gaze. And I absolutely I want to shout out the wardrobe team because I think the wardrobe team is very good in the show. So I love the costume details of the motocross scenes where like Fai's helmet has the flames on it. So do her gloves. And she's wearing that jersey, and on the back it has her last name and number 4 because she's like the 4th element. So I think like visually it does a good job of setting up Fai, the character, just like visually. And so I love later, like when she learns that the mistress is there and like she's in that outfit and marches into the house. So she looks like a flaming fireball when she like marches into that house, like all pissed off and stuff. Like, again, great job, wardrobe. I think they did a good job characterizing the characters with their outfits, and I really love it. And I love that a lot of this particular story is like outside, and like the characters are dressed practically for the things that they're doing also.
That's always a positive. And something
Correct.
you think would be the
Uh-huh.
first thing a costume department would think of,
Correct.
but it's not.
It is not. I hate when they have women in heels on like sand, and it's like, in what universe are they standing on a beach in heels? Like, you
Have them
can't.
take them off.
Like, the shoe sinks into the dirt, into the sand. Put them in different shoes. It's absurd. So yeah, they don't do that here. Absolutely love it. All right. So before we get into like heavier shit, let's talk about Bua, because Bua is a series only edition. Bua is not in the novel, in the story.
That's so sad.
Why is it sad, Kaitlynn?
It's sad because I love Bua and I'm so happy they included her because she's an excellent addition to bring in even more comedy to the show. Like, there's a lot of comedy between Fai and Kaproa and like their wackiness of teasing each other and trying to one up each other. But Bua is just this unknown force just coming in, and you never know what she's going to do.
Never know what she's going to do. Never know what she's going to say. I will say, hold on, I misspoke. It's not that she's not in the novel. She's just not like Prow's roommate. Like, Fai does not recruit her to like spy on Prow off the island. Like, Bua is just on the island. So there's more of
Is
Bua.
she really spying on her? I don't think that she's
No,
doing
I don't really think she has a mission. Like, I think that fell apart real fast. She's just kind of like there. Also, I love Bua's motivation for saying yes. It's not just that Fai told her yes. She's like, there's like 20 people on the island and I'm related to half of them. So like, I'm trying to find a partner. So like, please get me off the island for a bit. Like, I love how unhinged she is. And I love that she was selling clothes to make money and like hyping up the fact that she's like, I got drunk in this outfit with the Princess of Madeline. Like, that was her pitch. It was hilarious. She's such an opportunist.
We're really trying to sell out Blue in this series.
Oh my god. I love that, yeah, everybody's like really like, we know a princess, but then like said princess has not made an appearance in the series yet, which I know people are upset about. I'm with you guys. I feel like there was perhaps overlap with filming between the air and the fire, probably in their schedules where like Free Becky wasn't available, and or something in their contract that limited the amount that they were filming.
That, and there was the issue with a company pulling out and not paying. And so there was that point where they could not film. Like I think, so here's what I hear and what I think happened. This is probably not what happened, so don't come at me. Do not take this for what it is. But I think that either Freen got paid a bit, so she kept filming, and Becky didn't, so she pulled out first. Like, she was out of the filming schedule first. But it could also just be like the way that they filmed.
Becky was also filming another project at the same time the air was happening, so like her schedule might have been more constrained.
Yeah, it's also filming schedules in general to like add up all these people in general is insane. I wouldn't put it past them to be filming the fire and the air at the same time.
They had
an overlap, right? Because of all of this coming out right after the other.
Exactly. That's why I think that was a big contributing factor.
But there's so many factors in this project that is probably beyond that. I'm sure that they wanted them in it.
Yeah, totally. Right.
Like, it's just out of their control. Like, that's
right. Yeah.
Sometimes art can't be fully what the team has designed because it's real life. It's not fairy tale.
I get that wholeheartedly. So like, yeah, it's a little disappointing, but you know, let us not forget the Idol Factory debacle that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact, and then everything fell on North Star. That is true. So, but anyway, everyone trying to capitalize off of knowing Princess Blue is a bunch of fucking losers.
Yeah,
all of them.
They're like, we learned from the best capitalists that we know.
Acne.
So
Fai's dad. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But back to Bua. Bua has my heart because she's just so ridiculous. Again, Looknum and her willingness to just go all in on every character she ever plays. I need her to have her own show. How has she not had her own show by this point?
That's the biggest crime on planet Earth. Like, seriously.
If we don't get something in the preview for like next year for her to get something, I'm going to riot.
Seriously.
I guess
I'll watch it.
I guess her company kind of fell apart though.
Idol Factory fell apart. Somebody else pick her up.
Yeah, someone like
seriously. Anyone.
I will watch her in a straight show.
I will too. She's so funny.
Give her the leading role. She deserves it. She's more than proven herself.
I know, seriously.
And she will kill it.
She will kill it. Agreed.
But I loved the scene with Bua being a stowaway in the truck and scaring Kaproa. And she's just like, I was afraid you'd say no to me wanting to come with you. Like, Fai, you better not have said no to her. That's her family. Like, she deserves to be able to come back and visit with you, especially if you're the one who asked her to come off the island.
I love that dialogue because then Proud's like, I'm sure Fai's not that heartless. And then Fai's like, I don't know what to do with being complimented. And then, like, Bua grabs Fai's hand and starts being like, nah, please. And then, so Fai's like, yeah, whatever, sure. And then Bua is like, great, can I get in the inside the car where the air conditioning is? Because you didn't stop once. Like, I don't understand this, so that I can get out. And then Fai's like, why is this suddenly my fault? I didn't know you were in my car. That whole dialogue was hilarious. She's like, you guys don't fucking stop. I was like, imagine Bua putting this together. She's like, they'll probably have to pee like 10 minutes into this trip. Fai's probably the driver who's like, we're gonna be there at 3. I pee before we leave, kind of. She's like, I'm not making a stop unless I need gas. And so, like, yeah, they were probably driving for hours before. And Bua's like, what the fuck? Where do they stop? I'm in an open bed. That was hilarious.
I'm picturing her falling asleep and then being like, oh my God, we're still driving?
We're still driving? Jesus Christ. They haven't killed each other yet. That's good.
What I do want to see more of is, like, we thought about, like, when we were doing a reaction video, we talked about maybe Bua being Kaproa's confidant throughout the show, and I would like to see more of that since she is her roommate. I want to see them get closer and, like, talk more. I know that Bua is not, like, a main character in the show. She's not even supposed to be. Like, she was just added, like you said. But again, I think that she could add more and, like, allow Prowl to process her feelings.
Yes.
Because I don't think that she has that relationship with Fai. It does not seem like it, although they know each other longer.
No.
So I think she is closer to Prowl right now, and I think that could be how it continues. Also, give me more Bua.
Yeah, I think Bua will be there for exposition from Prowl, so you can get her inner thoughts when Prowl is in the house. But you probably didn't see the previews for the next episode, but Note comes back, and, like, Note is canonically Prowl's really close friend. So, like, that is where you're gonna get the confidant from, her actual confidant.
All right,
but it would be nice if we got more Bua Prowl, and Prowl, like, gets back to the place and, like, is having all these thoughts about everything and, like, needs to say it out loud so we can understand what she's thinking. Like, I think we'll get those scenes. I'm hoping, at least.
Yeah. I'm hoping.
I'm hoping too.
But we'll see.
We shall see. Patreon.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's take a break for some shout outs for our Chaos Crew over on Patreon.
Woo!
Our Chaos Crew members on the Big Gay Ride or Die tier and above are A Mix Monzone _Multi, Andres, As You So Stunning, Caroline R, Chloe, Danny, Isla, Girlfriend _J _XIX, Here For It, Jasmine O, Jill L, K Yoshi, Cassie M, Kelsey S, Kiera, Leona J, Livia A, Lovely Things, Mermaid Talia, Michelle G, Nancy D, Nasira, Pooja S, Regina B, Sarah B, and Worshipachin. And our featured Big Gay supporter members for this episode are Eris, Tahira, R, and RW.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all of your support, and thank you to everyone watching and listening to this right now. Just by consuming this episode, you are supporting us. So a big thank you. We could not do this without someone, or I mean, we technically could do this without someone watching or listening, but would we? So thank you for being here and giving us motivation to do. I know. Thank you for keeping us going.
Thank you for joining in the conversation in the comments. I appreciate hearing all of your thoughts and feelings about these shows.
Yes, and if you're listening or watching on Spotify, you can leave comments as well. We do have a few people who continue to do that, and it's so great to see the comments and, like, get to see, like, the listeners, because, like, you're just a number until you comment, and then we can actually have a name, a username, and get to know people through comments, and it's a really good time. For Patreon, you can join for a free week to trial us out, to see our full content catalog if you so choose to do so. You can also just join as a free member, and we post content updates. We do some giveaways sometimes just for free members to give you, like, a membership for a month. We're experimenting all the time with new things, so make sure you join Patreon as a free member just to keep up to date with everything we're doing. And then also make sure you come join our Discord, where you can talk to us and other queer media lovers about queer media, Thai girl love, four elements. I said this in the wrong order.
You did.
Anyway, all the things. It's so much fun over there. our Discord knows more than us about everything that's coming out.
They do.
So we're always learning more through them. So if you're really into Thai girl love and want to know what's coming out, like what's going on, there are people ready to talk to you about it. So all the links are in the description.
Yes. Make some friends, have a little fun. And yeah. Woo-hoo. All right, back to the fire. So I think we should talk about some parenting mishaps that are happening in the series. So we got Fai's dad versus, or we're going to talk about Fai because Prow doesn't have parents. So we're talking about Fai.
Yeah.
Poor Prow. Sorry, girl. So Fai's dad versus Aunt Punny. So we got a situation of too little love versus too much love going on here. So let's start with Fai and her father. So Fai definitely gets her explosive temper primarily from him, like the explosive part. Yep. So like father, like daughter, which has been a Four Elements theme, to be honest. And okay, in the beginning of the series, he mentions that Fai doesn't come to the office or meetings that he asks her to attend. So showing us how dedicated to work she is before Kaproa shows up. So it's fun that like Prow is like the catalyst for change when it comes to Fai. And so she goes to work out of spite, which I think is absolutely hilarious. Like what a hilarious motivating factor to go to work. And her dad's like, yeah, look, my daughter's running the business. She's trying to piss off Prow.
Because like technically Fai doesn't need money. Because like she
definition of privilege. All these cousins are
she's
privileged.
So like what motivation does she have to go to work? Well, here's finally motivation. Yes. So like honestly, valid girl, because if I didn't have to work, why would I?
Exactly. Like understandable. So yeah, I love that she manages out of spite just to piss off Prow, which is hilarious. And one thing I do love between the two of them is I love in the series their little fireball fist pump. It's so cute. It's just they go with the hands. I love that. It's so cute.
It is cute. And it shows how like they are still close, although they have their issues, because we see a lot of flashbacks and like a lot of times where he is favoring Prow and he disciplines Fai a lot more and like is more angry with her and like she can't do anything right. And so like you do see that evidence that he does care about her and he truly does love her. But I also think that he is causing a lot of the problems between Kaproa and Fai, because the way he clearly favors Kaproa in scenes makes it so Fai is feeling like she is being pushed out. However, with the way this show is revealing things, I am thinking his actions could just be that they're from Fai's point of view, and she has a skewed way of seeing how he is treating Kaproa and like compared to her. But with that said, even if her father isn't treating them unequally, this is how Fai is perceiving their treatment. Correct. And that is valid.
Correct.
Because she does try to bring it up to her father multiple times, and he kind of listens to her sometimes, but a lot of times he just pushes it aside. I feel like he could have made an effort to favor Fai at times and like actually talk to her about like what's going on more. Now, granted, she's a fiery fireball who doesn't want to take the time to sit there. She's more action, be like, and blow up like her father.
Like her father. That's why they butt heads.
There's a chance like she wouldn't even be open to listening to it. But like maybe there's even more to that story and like we don't have all the facts yet, because again, the show's going to show you. I can only assume things off of what I have knowledge of right now. I can try to read into things, which I do a bit, but ultimately the show will show us what we need to see when we see it.
Reading into it's the whole point, so good read.
Well, no.
I got nothing to add to that. That was all a very good read. So what's your take on Fai and Aunt Pani, because I feel like you have opinions about that.
Oh, I have opinions, all right. I really don't trust her. I don't trust her one bit. And like people tell me to give her a chance, and like I understand I should be giving her a chance. I should be thinking more about her, and I should really like, but I really don't like her and the way that she's been treating Kaproa. Like okay, so I understand that she loves Fai and feels like she needs to protect Fai because in her head her father's not doing a good job. He's favoring this other child that's not even his blood and basically giving like she saw him beating Fai. Like she's like I need to protect her cuz you're not doing your job as a father. But in like loving her so much that she's worried about Fai and her future and like worried that Kaproa's coming in to take over everything. The aunt is feeding Fai the fear and resentment towards Kaproa and is basically the catalyst for their bad relationship. Because I don't think that Fai would have like yeah, Fai's like, what is this child coming in? Oh, this dynamic is different. Things are changing. But she wouldn't have been like, oh, you cannot get close. Like I can't get close to you. You don't belong here. And I don't think it would have been this bad if the aunt wasn't feeding her things like, don't let her get close to your father. She's just trying to get his money. And like, even to the current day, she's like, oh, she's just trying to get with your father now. It's just changing. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if she started that rumor that she was the mistress and through the whole town. And like the way that she goes after Kaproa is absolutely ridiculous because her issue should remain with the father, not a small child who has no idea what is going on. And like even as an adult, she's treating her just as she did as a child and like making her do those unnecessary tasks like cutting the grass with whatever those trimmer shears, thank you. And like we saw she made little Proud do that as a child too. First of all, she has no authority. I mean, I know she's like they all adults
She's an
like,
elder.
have authority yeah, over the children.
She's an elder.
But like, oh my gosh, she's just awful. Like her love for Fai is just blinding. It blinds her to everything of like she's so rude. Like she gets mad at Kaproa for not showing up to her own place earlier when she was waiting for her, but the aunt never even told Kaproa she was coming over.
Yeah, that was just her pulling rank, being like, I'm an elder, you're supposed to respect me for no matter what. That's all that was. Just her pulling rank. Because she can.
Something about her just makes me not trust her and just makes it seem like she's going to cause even more problems. I wonder if she'll ever accept Prow. Because eventually the two are going to end up together.
They sure are.
I think.
I mean, unless
we're here.
That's not what happens at the end of this.
You never know.
You never know. They might change the whole story. Yeah, so basically you have a situation with two flawed humans that parented some children and it went awry is basically what happened here based on your read, which I agree with. Something I find really interesting though is like let's go so to piggyback off of my question is like, well, why do you think Aunt Punny has it out for Kaproa so much? Because you mentioned all the kind of the backstory stuff where like Acne did corporal punishment to Fai, and Fai was having this like alone time with her aunt and mentions that like she's always wrong in his eye, which you nailed it. That's basically their father-daughter relationship. But like when Fai is saying that, like she looks sad about that. And then her aunt notices that Fai looks sad and then comforts Fai by rubbing her arm and says, quote, I am always on your side. So like for all her flaws, like she's Fai's ride or die kind of thing, you know, because like Fai feels like she's not getting the love, like all the love she needs from her father. But like here's her aunt giving her like that love and more kind of thing. So I do appreciate that about their relationship, and Fai does really wholeheartedly seem to trust her, which can be a bad thing when you place your trust in the wrong person, potentially. But that is like their relationship. Something I find interesting, I want to get your thoughts on. So, it was in episode 2 when Fai comes back after, quote, teaching Prow about work. Like when they come back real late and she gets her out of there. And she gets punched in the face because she's an idiot. Basically, Honey is like, oh, why did you go to the office? And like Fai kind of tells her why. And then actually no, Fai doesn't tell her why. Honey's like, has Proud caused you any trouble? And then Fai lies and says no. And then later on, when she comes back with the bleeding lip, Fai lies again and says she ran into a door. So that's episode 2. So why is Fai lying in episode 2 to her aunt that she trusts?
Because she's always tried to protect Prowl, and at this point we didn't know that, because she knows how much her aunt retaliates against Prowl. Episode 4 proves that. So like we saw that when the aunt punished Prowl in the past, Fai was right there to do that punishment with her and like make it easier for her. So she knows what her aunt is capable of doing, and like she doesn't want Prowl to actually get the brunt of it. So like she doesn't put Prowl in a place to be in trouble, because even when they're younger, she takes the fall for things when Kaproa doesn't speak up and tell what's actually going on, but she would never throw Prowl under the bus herself.
See the way the context of scenes change once you learn things? Like, yeah, and if you go back further into episode 1, when they were kids, and there's a scene with Acne alone with Prow, and he's like, you never tell me the extent of what Fai does to you, like how much she gets you in trouble. So you also see Prow doing the same thing for Fai, where she isn't fully honest about what happens because she's also trying to protect Fai from getting in trouble. They both do it, but they're not braggy people. Like they don't need to like be like, yeah, I'm the better person because I did XYZ. They just do things quietly to protect each other. And then there's a lot of misunderstanding that happened because everyone's bad at communicating in this story. But again, just go back and watch those other scenes in the beginning and you see Prow and Fai both do the same thing the whole time. It's just peel back the onion layer. Okay, so to continue with the aunt. So when Fai gets back from the Hua Hin trip, Aunt Punny expresses concern that like she's like, okay, what I'm worried not like I always thought she was going after your dad, but what if she's spending time with you and then starts going after you to gold dig you, Fai? And then she makes Fai promise that she will not fall for Prow. Remember, this is after Hua Hin, when Fai is like, oh shit, I'm having feelings. So then Fai flat out promises to her aunt that she will not fall for Prow. And she's like, I promise that I'll let you take care of me forever. And that's what appeases her aunt ultimately. So I want to know what you make of that whole thing. And like, is it healthy? What's happening there?
No. I would say no, because she's worried about letting her aunt down. I think that's ultimately going to be the detriment of this relationship, is like her aunt will never approve of it. And her aunt is probably going to make it about herself at some point, I feel like, at least, and be like, I don't know if she'll go to the extent of like, I've taken care of you, you have to listen to what I say, and things like that. But she'll definitely be like, how can you trust her? And like try to put doubt into Fai's head about Kaproa and the relationship, because she doesn't see that this is the best thing for her. And she can't, because she's so blinded by Kaproa and like all her misconceptions about this child. Not child anymore, but this person. So I think in that moment, Fai was just trying to make her aunt happy and just say what she needed to say to get out of the situation. At that point, she probably believed it, because at that, she's still in the mindset where she's like, I don't need love. I don't know. Yeah, she's having these new emotions, but I don't think she like fully understands what it is. So I think it's easy for her at that point. Now, in a couple, like right now, if they would have that scene, I don't know if she would. So, like in episode 5, if it happened in episode 5, I don't know if she would have done the same thing. I don't know if she would have said, I promised. I think maybe she would have like skirted it a little bit.
My whole thing, I will take it a step further. I think the ask from the aunt is super unhealthy, or Fai's response is actually super unhealthy. It's both unhealthy from both sides. But what Fai is saying is like, no, I will let you take care of me forever. So what Fai is saying is that like, not only do I not need Prow, I don't need any love in my life. I have you. I will stay single forever so that I can just be with you, my aunt. That's crazy. Like, that's Fai essentially closing herself off to the possibility of love for her aunt voluntarily.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue I have with that. And like, the aunt's like, yes, that is also what I want. Like, it's very extreme on both ends. And like, notice the people in Fai's family, they're all super, like, not extreme. Well, they are extreme to an extent, but they're very intense and like kind of extreme people. So I'm not surprised by this conversation, but like surface level read from both people is very unhealthy. Like, that is a very unhealthy response by both of them.
It seems like Fai's a little codependent with the aunt, being like, she caters to her and like wants. Yeah, I can't really diagnose her with anything, but I just think that the attachment there is a little too much. I wonder if they're gonna kill her off.
Jesus Christ. Well, we haven't had any on-screen body counts yet, so it's possible. Could we get
because like that's a way for her not to what's the word? Like, disapprove.
If she's dead, she can't disapprove.
Yeah. She can't disapprove. Because like, I don't know how would she like approve of this relationship? Like, yeah, she loves Fai, like, so she could learn to accept it. And we could see that happening. I hope it's not a switch. But if they killed her off, Fai would have to learn to live without the one person that she has been basically craving this love from, and like who has loved her the most. So it's like a potential. Now, will it happen? I don't know.
That is a potential.
It's a way to get out of some stuff.
we have four episodes left and only a few bodies, so like, who knows? Will the death toll keep rolling up in North Star's version of the story? Only time will tell. But that is an interesting avenue to explore, potentially. Okay. Something I want to bring up. So, do you have anything else about the aunt? Because I'm ready to pivot out of that unless you have more.
No, I think that's it.
Okay, so going back to episode 2, when Fai challenges Prow to do the budget auditing, which forces Prow to stay late at the office. Something I noticed about that is like, Prow didn't know she was going to be pulling an all-nighter at work, which means like Prow didn't bring dinner. And like, they're in a remote location and she has no bike. So it's not like she can be like, I'll just go into town, get food, come back. Like, to me, that shows you just how stubborn Prow is, where she's like, fuck this. I'm going to do it no matter what it takes. Even if I have to starve myself. I have to have water in the office. Like, who knows? Like, I'm just like worried about her safety and health. But like, she's like, fuck that. I'm going to do this. Insane asks that Fai made me do, basically.
I mean, she's not even just like, she does that with the aunt too from when she was younger. She's stubborn. She's stubborn, but also like just willing to do it. She's like, okay, if this is what this will make you like prove to you that like I can do it. I can't just be beaten down,
She don't back
like,
down.
then I'm going to prove to you that I can do it.
Yeah. Again, I just love how fucking stubborn she is. Okay, but like in that scene, how iconic was she for punching Fai in the face when Fai scared her?
That was all Fai's fault.
That was so funny.
You don't sneak up to someone when it's
Girl.
dark and
She's
she
a
thinks she's
black-
alone.
She's a black belt. And like Fai has the audacity to complain about that. She's like, you solve problems with your fists. And it's like, girl, you scared her. Why did you? Because again, she just expected Proud to cry and whimper. Well, punches her in the face.
Some people's reactions are like that. Like, you
It's
have to be
okay.
careful of people.
Right.
She's a
Fucking
fight
idiot.
out of fight or flight.
She's hilarious. Well, because I think about Fai's perspective. She's like, when you were younger, you were flight. Now suddenly you're fight. And I wasn't expecting a black eye from this. But so again, she's hilarious. The way she's like, I can't believe you punched me in the face. And then, okay, so then I also, again, enemies to lovers, like realistic, I'm gonna clean your wound situation, but I fucking hate you. So like Prow is like, let me clean your face, so we'll clean the blood. And then like Fai was whimpering when Prow was like cleaning the wound, which shows that Fai is not as tough as she seems. Like that's what that whole scene is supposed to show you. And like there is a vulnerability to Fai. It's just she puts on a very tough front. And I love, again, the reverse power situation where Prow tells her, stop whining. Because that's what Fai would tell her if the roles were reversed. So I love that. I love that Fai's a little bitch about it. And she's like, shut up. It's so funny.
Again, equal match.
Yes, but this scene, like, I think is one of the most, in episodes 1 through 4, this is probably one of the most enlightening conversations that they have on this couch with the wound healing thing. Because I brought it up a bit earlier, but we get the flashback of little Fai taking Prow to get the doll at night, and then Prow gets scared. And Acne doesn't give Fai a chance to explain the situation. He just assumes what happens and scolds Fai. And then when Fai asks Prow why she changed from a crybaby to a thug, which I love the phrasing there, Prow looks Fai straight in the eye and says, you. And that's probably one of the most poignant things, because you asked, why did Prow, change so much? And Fai is the answer. Fai is also her catalyst for change, the way Prow is Fai's catalyst as well, which I love. And then after she says you, they have this stare down where Prow the alpha is asserting her dominance over Fai. And my thing is that struck me during that scene is how many people have the courage to stare down Fai like that? Would her own cousins even do that? You know what I mean? How many people actually have the courage to stare down Fai? Look her straight in the eye and be like, I'm in charge. Not that many people, I would imagine.
No. No one. I think the cousins would, though.
I think maybe Lam.
Well, after that dinner, I feel like they all would.
We'll get to that. I think the wives would stare her down. I don't know about the cousins. Yes. Okay? I think Rose and Lotta would stare her down.
That's fair.
The cousins are all bottoms. So anyway, I love... Okay, so Prow is asserting her dominance in this stare, and then I love the way Fai stares back. Because it's she's seeing Prow for the very first time. The way she's looking at her. Okay? And I love this because, again, this easily could have been the romance trope of I'm falling for you because you're cleaning my wound thing. But it's not. This moment is an I see you for the first time moment. Which to me can be just as intimate of a moment, if not more so, than a physical attraction moment. It's intimate in a different way. It's not intimate in a romance trope way. It's intimate in because again, Fai is why are you not behaving the way I expect you to? And she gets her answer. And then it's a moment of seeing Prow as a different person, somebody who grew up and is different, and then realizing it's because of me, right? Because when you get the flashbacks of them as children, like you see that Fai, in her own weird way, was trying to be like, you need to toughen up and defend yourself without communicating it so concisely like I did. And like, here's Prow now fully capable of taking care of herself. And she like doesn't need Fai to come swoop in behind her and like get her out of stuff. Like Prow is able to like stand on her own 2 feet. I think Fai's starting to recognize that. And she's like, shit. I love that moment. I think it's a great moment.
That's very true. And I think, like, what annoyed Fai about Prowl is how whiny and crying she was.
Which is valid. Like, if you're an only child and you've never had to deal with this shit, and suddenly this new kid comes in and will not stop crying, like, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, I understand why little Fai was annoyed, because, like, that's a big change for her, you know? And then Dad's like, you're stuck with her. Good luck.
No, it's definitely a big change.
Yeah, like, that's a big change. It's understandable.
I just mean, like, now she's just like, oh, it's not the same. And she doesn't mind having her around now. And you see her, like, start to, like, want her around.
Well, yes, Fai becomes a little Klingon. So, okay. So another scene that I love to add levity to their relationship is, like, the bike shop. So, like, Fai throws away her... classic Fai fashion, doesn't explain herself, throws away Prow's bike because she's worried about the safety, but then it's just like, you didn't pay for it anyway, bitch. I can do what I want, because she's an idiot. And then these hoes go to buy a bike, okay? And then they're outside in front of the shop making a fucking scene, okay? And they're I love this argument where basically Fai's like, you're annoying, and then Prow's like, no, you're annoying, and then the shop owner is like, you're both annoying, like, buy something or get out of my store. I love that scene so much. They're so ridiculous.
Yeah, I felt so bad for the owner, because I'm like, she is literally just watching back and forth
this fucking married
what's going on,
about to kill each other.
Like, I don't get paid enough for this. Buy something, so I actually do get paid.
Okay, here's the deal, though. The bike shop, at least they bought something. When they go to the stationery shop, it's worse because they make a scene and then they don't buy anything. They just like Prow's like, here, and gives the stuff back to the poor old lady that runs the shop. Like, they don't buy anything. They just like
don't even put it back.
No, don't put it back. They just cause a scene and leave. That one was worse. But something I thought that was funny about these scenes is that, okay, there's always somebody in the relationship who likes shopping more than the other. And I think we know who that is from these scenes. Like, Prow is the one that shops, and then Fai is the one who's bored in the store.
Yes.
I think that was made very, very clear.
I think that's true of, like, all the cousins. I feel like they're all, like, non-shoppers.
I would say the exception is Nam. If it's for specific things, like she was the one who like plans like her own wedding, and was like, this is the best thing ever, and has so much fun doing it. And like I think she will shop for a purpose. She's good. But if it's like, let's window shop, I don't think either of either Lada or Nam would be into that. They're more like shop with a purpose kind of people. I think Lam and Blue would get lost in department stores equally. Because Lam's like, oh, this is pretty, but this is pretty, and that's pretty. And like, they would get lost for hours. I feel like Din and Rose shops, but Din doesn't hate it. Din just is the patient one who's like, yes, dear, let's go to the 9th shoe store to get you what you want. These two,
like, yes, you do look pretty in that outfit.
Right. Din enables, and then Fai and Prow is like going to get something, and then Fai's annoying the whole time. It's just
like, can we leave yet? No, yeah. Just one more store, and it's like always just one more store, right. And Fai's just like, girl.
But Fai doesn't. The thing about Fai will take Prow to 9 shoe stores, but she's going to complain the whole time about it. Versus Din will not complain. Din will very patiently be like, yes, dear, let's go to the store. Fai will complain the whole time, but she will do it, is the thing. Because this is Bottoms, the series. Okay, one thing I want to note about the store that was really cute, so thanks to all the fans that pointed this out, is like, okay, so when they do the thing where Prow is testing out the pens, and is cursing Fai, which is hilarious. And Fai's like, what the fuck are you writing about me? And she's like, nothing, and takes the paper and walks away. And then Fai comes over and finds a second piece of paper that somebody else was testing pens on. It says, I'm secretly watching you, which creepy. What we don't that's not what Proud didn't write that. Somebody else wrote that and Fai picked it up, right? Which what a fucking creepy thing to write in a store and like leave for the shop owner, that little old lady to come find later and be like, what the fuck? It says I'm secretly watching you. Like if you were the store owner, wouldn't you be creeped out by this message a stranger left?
Unless the store owner wrote it.
You know, maybe she's like, you know, those signs where it's like, smile, you're on camera.
You're on camera.
Yeah. Okay, so either that was really dark or really funny from the store owner. Let's go with that one. Okay, so this actually has a meaning behind it. So this is a phrase from a very famous song of these two actors. So NamneungNoey are both like in like a girl group or something, and like this line is from one of their songs, and the group was called BNK48. And so at the end, where Fai reads it out loud, she sings it in the melody of that song, which is really cute. So it's like a nod to them and like as performers, which I thought was really cute that they incorporated that into the show. And I think they are trying to incorporate bits and pieces of that because like later on, Fai's like, oh, in college I sung and danced. Maybe, you know what? Maybe Fai found out that, well, not found out, definitely grilled her father about Prow and found out that she danced. And like maybe she said that to try to bond with Prow because apparently she did in college and like she just did it in her way, which is like the wrong way to talk to people. That's actually really cute. That's probably what she was doing, honestly. All right, but I love the shopping trip because like the way they just cause scenes in public is ridiculous.
They don't care who's watching them, what people think about them.
No, zero fucks.
They're like, we're gonna be ourselves. They don't even see people. They don't see them.
No, they didn't see a goddamn soul. I'm glad the shopkeeper was like, buy something or get out of my store. It's like, this is absurd. All right. So in episode 3, we get the Hua Hin trip where we get the cousins minus Blue and Lam for scheduling purposes, probably logistical reasons, but that's okay. We get all 4 of them. So something I want to note about this trip that I thought was really cute is when they arrive, Fai brings a bouquet of flowers for Nam and Lada, and the flowers are sunflowers and pink tulips, which are Nam and Lada's flowers for each other. Like Fai brings that. So it shows you, without explicitly stating it, how sentimental Fai actually is and how she pays attention to details about people she loves. And she does big gestures that say, I love you without saying it. So I thought that was a cute little detail and like a nod to the water that I loved.
That is really cute.
That was really, really cute. And another nod to wardrobe did a great job in this episode also. So I noticed something for the first time when they're in this moment where Prow is meeting Lada and Nam for the first time, is that Prow has this necklace on it that's a sun pendant. Because her name, not Kaproa, but like her Atiya, I think that's how you say it. I probably butchered that. It means sun. So like I like that she has a little sun necklace.
That's cute.
It's just a nod to her name, which is really cute. Okay. And then Fai, the little bastard that she is, when she introduces Prow to Lada and Nam, she says, quote, she's one of my dad's kept women. Which, the thing is, though, she's not entirely wrong with that statement, like the way that's phrased, if that is in fact translated correctly, because like there's an implication that it's sexual, but like technically Kaproa is a woman and Acme financially supports her. So it's not an incorrect statement the way Fai said it, but it sounds sexual out of context. So like, who knows how she could have not meant it that way, but like she probably did because she was being a bastard, but like she's not actually wrong. It's technically true.
If Nam said it, I wouldn't think that she would think the implication. Because it's Fai, yeah, she would have. If it was Fai or Lam saying it, they definitely meant the implication.
So here's the thing about this whole thing. So when we're interacting with the cousins and Fai for the very first time, and they're like watching this whole thing with Prow and Fai go down, the fact that Nam Nam catches on to Fai's weird behavior / evolving crush, really says something about how obvious Fai is with her feelings. Because, like, Nam doesn't pick up on human emotions, so it must be extremely obvious.
That is a good point.
Nam figured it out. Like, Nam figured it out. Like, that's how bad this is.
They go home later that night. Lotta's like, I'm so proud of you. You
No,
figured
seriously.
you got it.
Wow. It's really that bad. Something I do like in this episode is that once Fai is like, after Fai introduces Prow, and then Nam's like, okay, let me go show you your room because, you know, cousin of mine. And then Lotta and Prow get some alone time to bond with each other. I really like that they had time away from Fai, first of all, who's like terrorizing her.
Yeah.
And just to like, so Lotta could just get to know her, and like Prowl can get to know another person, like just like one-on-one. I thought that was really cute and important.
Yeah, it's, first of all, Lotta always gets the opportunity to bond with the potential sister-in-laws.
She does
By
one-on-one.
herself.
She's
Yeah.
my favorite wife. Like, she's hilarious. I do love that it's her. She's like the welcoming committee to the Four Elements Wives Club.
She's the one to give you all the information. I mean, Rose will give you all the information as well.
Rose
but
will
she's
give
more
you
like
the
fangirl
tea.
over everything. Yeah.
Rose will give you the tea. Lotta's going to give you the information packet to be like, this is what you're signing up for. Here are your benefits, you know, that kind of stuff. And Rose will give you the tea.
Be like, so what you didn't know is like, this is what was actually going on. And
This
they
is
just were totally
Blue's.
blind.
This is Blue's public Instagram. Here's her private Instagram. Like, that's Rose.
She followed me on this day at this time.
It was awesome. Yeah, no, that's Rose. That's why she's friends with Modang. Like, you could see why they're friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of Rose, let's shoot on over to dinner, because I think that's an important scene. I don't know if you have stuff about the dinner, the first dinner.
I don't have anything specific, but I'll comment.
Go for it. Oh, you want me to keep
going?
No,
I'll comment. Yeah, you keep going.
All right. So I like when they sit down to dinner, and then Rose is like, ooh, Prow's cute. Isn't she cute, Din? And it's like, Rose, are you into Prow? Because, like, why is Rose always the most unhinged person in the room, like, in a good way? Like, it's always Rose.
That's true.
Like,
when it comes to the other elements.
She's like, she's hot. Isn't she hot, Din? And Din's like, yes, dear. But it's like, why is Rose...
Why are there conversations about
That's what
other
I'm saying.
women?
Why is Rose flirting with Prow in front and like getting Din? I'm like, Rose. It's always Rose. So I thought that was hilarious that like Rose is like hitting on Prow, and then is like, right, Din? And Din's like, yes, dear. Okay.
Din will go along with whatever
Rose wants. Hilarious. Which is why later when Fai's like Rose, when Fai's alone with Din and Nam, and like the Wives Club are getting ready and they're gonna make their epic entrance, and then Din's like, isn't she cute, Fai? And Fai's like, I'm gonna tell Rose that you were complimenting another woman. And it's like, were you not at dinner where Rose started this? Like, Rose started it. Rose made Din say
good job. You know, yeah, you're not wrong. She's very beautiful.
But like, I'm pretty confident Rose made Din say all these things that she's saying to Fai right now. That was Rose that made her do that. So
Rose is like, this is aware. The plan. You have to say this is specifically exactly like this to Fai.
That's ridiculous. But that was hilarious. I'm like, girl, were you not at dinner earlier? Anyway, okay. Other thing I want to bring up a lot of things about this scene, but something else. This is I have another wardrobe shout out, which is particularly this scene here where they first have dinner. So if you notice, all the Withinowits in this scene are all wearing, all of them, including the wives, are all wearing blue and white. Prow is the only one not wearing blue or white. She comes in wearing like yellow, brown colored dress. So it visibly shows you what an outsider she is in this scenario and how Prow feels like an outsider, like visually. So good job, wardrobe. I like that. They're very attentive to like the color palettes. and what they mean. So just want to give them a shout out in this show. So I think they're doing a really good job. Okay, so let's talk about when Fai goes off on Prowl, because like Rose is like, "Are you guys dating?" And then Fai goes off. Okay. So here's the deal. Like, Fai is incredibly blunt, but she's not a fake person. So like she says what she thinks and feels. There's just no filter whatsoever when she says things. I don't know what your take was on like that whole thing, or if I like goes off on Prow.
I mean, it's kind of like a very defensive, like, what are all the bad things I can think about her and say? Like, what have I ever thought about her? And just like, let me say them all right now without. And she didn't even think like how it could actually be perceived and like how it affects Prowl, because like these things are not something that you can easily hear from anyone. Like
No.
anyone, like a random person off the street saying this, like it still hurts. These are words that hurt. So I mean, it was cruel of Phi, which the cousins, well, the wives do get into with Phi, because she needs to be knocked down, and Prow at this point was not able to knock her down one. And I think that's where you see how much it affected her
Oh yes.
with Phi saying
Yes.
this, because she was not able to stand up for herself and fight back. She literally just dismissed herself and walked away.
Yeah, no, again, kudos to the actors. Kudos to NamneungNoey. They do an amazing job portraying their characters, because these two characters, Phi and Kaproa, are both extremely guarded people. Both of them are very guarded. And so the actors are doing a phenomenal job of like showing you the emotions that they are processing, that they are not going to say out loud or show people out loud that they are feeling. So it's just, you just see it like when Phi says that, like the way Noe plays Kaproa is amazing, because you can see like just by looking at her eyes and like very briefly like the way that actually really hurts her, like to hear that from Phi, because like in some level she cares what Phi thinks, and so that really hurt. Like it hurt her so much that she just left the table, like as if we saw them in the bike shop, as if she's not going to talk back to Phi. Like she definitely would, but she was so wounded that she's like, I'm just going to go, and she just left.
This is also in front of people that she was trying to impress. So like for Phi to say all these things in front of her cousins that she's trying to impress right now, because this is Phi's family, who she's supposed to be Phi's sibling. Like she's supposed to be in close with them and like get to know them, and now they're hearing all these negative things about her, which she thinks like, oh, now no one's gonna like me because Phi believes all these terrible things, and like now they're gonna believe it because she's saying it like it's fact. And like to Prowl right now, it feels like fact. Like Phi calls her ugly, and like she even like, I forget who she goes to, if it was Lotta or Rose, but she's just like, I'm not pretty. Like she internalized everything that Phi said to her, because since she was younger, she did look up to Phi and like saw her as a sibling right away, because she was told to see her as a sibling. So she cares what Phi thinks about her, even though they were separated all this time, because she does have this connection to her. And so to hear someone who you looked up to talk so bad about you all at once, like it's not even just like a couple things where she could just like easily throw away and be like, oh, it doesn't matter, she's just saying these things. Like no, she went off and like kept going. It's the fact that like she just piled it on one after the other that really hurt her.
And like she didn't want to be at this thing. She elected not to go, and then Phi's like, "No, you
Yeah.
have to go." And then this is what Phi does. So, oh my god. Okay, yeah. And then the wives go off on Phi, understandably, and then chase Phi away. Phi gets annoyed and leaves. And then at the end, Rose and Lotta cheers, They're like, great job. And it's like, did they conspire to like get Fai to confront her feelings like immediately? Like where's the scene where these two were conspiring? Because it's them. Because Din and Nam seem like they have no idea what's going on and like they don't know what their wives were up to. But like my question is like, how long did Lotta and Rose conspire to get Fai and Prow together? Because like the next night, like they had to have kept doing this because the next night they like color coordinate outfits with Prow and then do this catwalk thing to present Prow to Fai with like choreography that's synchronized. Like, how long were these two conspiring? Because like this was pretty elaborate, the shit that they do.
After the first meeting, they knew that Fai was gonna mess something up. So they're like, we know Fai, we know she's not good with feelings, she doesn't understand them, we need to like get her, we're working together, we'll get this thing together.
I feel like this all came from Lotta, because Lotta and the first interaction when it was just her and Nam with them was like, huh, because when they sit down at the table and it's all the cousins, Rose is like, is this the woman you told me about? So I think this all came from Lotta, and then she got Rose in because Rose is conspiratorial. And
Rose will always go.
Yeah, Rose is like, great. You didn't even need to explain to me, bestie. Let's do it. I'm already in. I bought extra dresses. Which but they definitely. Poor Din. Imagine packing to go on a trip with Rose, and she's like, do you really need 5 suitcases, dear? And Rose is like, yes, I do, Din. Din's like, okay, dear.
I will carry them all for you.
I'll carry them all.
I definitely don't think that the two of them told.
No, absolutely not. Nam and Din look at each other like, what the fuck just happened? As their wives are clinking glasses together because they're like, that so was horrible.
They're like, why are they happy right now?
Yeah, they're like, that was really bad. Anyway, I love that. I love that. 4 Elements Wives Club. Don't fuck with them.
Oh my gosh.
All right, and then from there, Prow goes to like get some fresh air, and that's where the men show up. And I love that whole thing. I already talked about that. The intercutting with that flashback is so lovely. All right. Okay, something else I want to talk about. Okay, so we kind of talked about all of that and then the beautiful lighting at the beach. But I want to talk about the beach moment where Fai offers her hand to Prow. I love that in the present, Prow doesn't take Fai's hand because she's not your average bitch, okay? She's not some damsel in distress, and she's telling Fai, like, I can take care of myself, Fai. I don't need you to, like, lift me up. I can lift myself up. And I love that moment because, like, in the flashbacks, you see that when they were kids, Prow is the, quote, weaker one. And they get a flashback where, like, after Fai beats up the kids and bites that one child, that Fai then offers her hand to Prow, and Prow takes it. And when they're walking away, Prow holds on to, like, clings to Fai, like the protector in that scenario. But in the present, she's like, no, I fight my own battles now. And she's like, she's showing Fai by not taking her hand that I'm strong, not weak, kind of thing. And when Fai in her brain is like, I'm doing a nice thing. Like, I'm being nice. I'm offering you an olive branch, a peace offering. And then when Prow says no, Fai is surprised because, number one, this is not the Prow she remembers because in the flashback, Prow took her hand. But I think Fai takes that as rejection because she's like, I was being nice. And then Prow's like, I don't need your niceness, Fai. Mm-hmm. And so you can see how this like cycle keeps getting fueled because like anytime Prow, like one of them is like, I'm extending an olive branch. The other one misinterprets it understandably based on like their past, like their present situation and the way it's volatile. I love that. I think it's just so good. Because again, there's so many instances where like North Star could have fallen into the tropes and just been like, like, because they do the thing where they're like, they're having a moment, because they are. But it makes more sense for Prow to be like, no, I'm strong, not weak, than to take Fai's hand and be like, oh my God, my protector. You know what I mean? Like, it could have so easily fell into that, which is what happened when they were kids. So I love that they didn't get tripped up on that. And they're like, no, Prow has to show Fai that she's strong, not weak. And then Fai's going to misinterpret that as like rejection.
Yeah, and that's how it continues to go.
Yeah. But it's, again, that's a really good, well-executed enemies to lovers story.
It's true.
Yep. Okay, wait, one more thing. Oh yeah, I forgot. So, okay, wait. So last thing I have about Hua Hin is when, okay, so first of all, how extra Lotta and Rose are with like presenting Fai to Prowl with the choreography and all that shit. And then she shows up and they're like, isn't she hot? And then Fai's like, yeah, I mean, no. What? I don't have eyes. And then the cousins are like, oh my God, Fai. And so Prowl's like, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, I'm going to go get food and eat my feelings about this. So she goes into the buffet line and everybody's teasing Fai. And Nam gets the laugh, where she's like, a dude's gonna hit on her in 3, 2, 1, and a dude shows up and she's like, see? And then Fai is like, I'm getting food. And then she gets in the line. And I love the way she scares the dude off by like staring him down. And then she threatens to hit him with her plate. Like, I love that she's like gonna whack this dude. Like, again, things might get a little violent when you're around Fai, which is hilarious. I love that that's how she chases him off, by trying to publicly hit him with a plate. Oh, that was hilarious.
She's a little violent. You gotta love her for it.
So is Prowl. So I love their relationship. Things might get violent. You don't know. Like, they're unpredictable. But that was hilarious. And I love that the cousins are watching her do this and just laughing in the corner at how ridiculous she is. They're not helping her. They're just like, she almost hit that man with a plate. What an idiot.
She doesn't even realize what her feelings are right now.
She doesn't. And that's why they're laughing. Nam realizes the feelings. Nam, who can't read humans. That's how bad it is. That's how obvious it is. I love that to death. Okay. Anything about Hua Hin, the Hua Hin stuff you want to talk about? Or are you good?
Well, while they're there, is it Note?
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Note. We're gonna transition into Note. Yes.
Okay. Just love. First, I guess it does make sense because they haven't seen each other in a little while. But she's like, "Are you Kaproa?" At first, I was like, "What do you mean? If they try to sell us that they're very close friends," so I'm like, "Why'd you have to ask that if you're like?" Because she should have been just like Kaproa.
They were both on their phones, and then like she saw her out of the corner of her eye and was like, "Oh shit!" And then all she saw was the back of Kaproa, so that's why she said it. She got to get her to turn around.
That's fair. But I do love how Fai immediately gets jealous over this woman and her relationship, her friendship with Kaproa. But of course, Fai is in her own room after those two go off into Kaproa's room and is just imagining that what they're doing right now. And her brain goes to Kaproa and Node, they're about to kiss. And right before they kiss, she shakes her head and like gets that thought out of her head, which, yeah, sure, you're still thinking about it. But I love that, like, this has to be this is the first time she's experienced romantic jealousy. She was always jealous of Kaproa growing up. Well, when she was around. I wonder if she knew that he was still supporting her on the side.
I don't know that they explicitly said that in the series.
Okay. But yeah, so this is the first time she's experiencing like romantic, that she doesn't understand that still, but now she's jealous over this other person. And I love that she tries to listen in the door and then uses, what was it, like a magazine?
I don't know, like a flyer to the hotel. It's a grand opening.
Yeah, so I love that part of it.
All right, I have many things to say about Note. I will say all of the things with Note are way funnier than in the novel. It's a little bit different, but they're so funny. These scenes are absolutely hilarious. So I want to go back to when they first meet, and then Kaproa and Note are like, let's catch up and like have coffee or whatever. And so they're at this bar, and like Fai, the awkward motherfucker that she is off in the corner. So she can hear them, but she's not hanging out with them technically. So she's like creeping on their conversation, like the weirdo she is. And they're talking, and Fai, just who's not part of this conversation, just interjects, you guys seem close. And I love that Note is like, oh my God, we're the closest. We used to share a bed and everything. And Fai's like, God damn it. And she's like, no, this is bad. So she's like, I'm going to my room. Prow, you have to come with me because I said so and I'm your boss. And Prow tries to fight her back. And then Note's like, no. Great idea. How about we go to your room and take this to your bedroom? And Fai makes it worse. She's like, damn it, this is worse. I got nothing on this. That was hilarious. Okay, and then let's go to the imagining scene that you brought up. Okay, we must talk about this because, oh my God. Think about this. Okay, so like this is Fai's brain. This is Fai's brain, okay? And so what my thing is, like, the daydream is, okay, so what happens in the daydream that Fai is having? Note tells Prow how she feels and then tries to kiss Prow, and Prow's into it. So what did the daydream say about Fai? Because Fai is the one having the daydream, okay? Because to me, it reads like what Fai wants to say to Prow, but is too afraid or doesn't know how to say, which is that I missed you. They've been separated for 15 years, okay? This also applies to Fai, okay? And Fai is realizing she thinks she's beautiful, finally sees her as an adult, wants to kiss her, which that's an adult thing. But like Fai has no idea how to go about that. Okay. So then she's having the daydream of like what she would want to do, but like her brain is like, crap, what if Note gets there first and does all the things and says the things that I want to say, but I don't know how to. Like, you saw her try to apologize. Like, she clearly is really bad at communicating her feelings. So, like, I feel like this is a manifestation of, like, what Fai wants to say and do, but, like, doesn't know how and is freaking out that, like, somebody else might do it before she does.
I think that's very plausible. I didn't think about that.
Because this is only in the novel, this daydream thing.
Oh.
I mean, sorry, this is only in the series, this little daydream.
That's what I heard anyway, so.
Yeah, my bad. No novel spoilers, but yeah. So I was just like, this is Fai's brain. So what does this say about Fai, the person imagining this? I think it says a lot, actually.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got for episode 3. And then episode 4, which they should just rename that island Love Island, because like all the cousins seem to find love on that island when they go there.
It's true. I love their adventure on there of when they get rained on and then have to go to the cave.
I love when Prowl calls Fai a hermit. It's one of my favorite things. Because she definitely has hermit energy. Like, she does. Like, it's not a bad description. It's actually a really great description for Fai. She's basically a hermit. She's like, no, I'm not. And then, like, Prowl's like, why is all this stuff here? And then Fai's like, well, when I like to be alone. As if a remote island isn't secluded enough, Fai further secludes herself voluntarily by going into a cave. Like, that, if that's not what hermits do, like, that's the definition of a hermit. Like, so Fai doesn't help herself when she admits all this. I was like, oh my God, girl, she's a hermit. That's a great way to describe her. I love it.
I just love when they're changing and like she's just openly changing in front of Kaproa and she's like, well, there's a rock you can change behind. And then it's when Kaproa's going behind the rock, she's like, are you done yet?
She's still walking and you're watching her. You're an idiot. I love when she's changing. Like, Prow, you should have taken a view because, like, I think Prow would have passed out because, like, Fai is fucking. I wasn't expecting her to be so bold with, like, changing in front of Prow. I thought she would have been more guarded. That was bold, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I only have things to say about the Fai and Prow parts, so I don't know if you have anything else to say about, like, the island with, like, Bua and her family.
No, they're just cute. I love their dynamic.
I will say I do love when they play along with Fai's shenanigans and tell the shocked crab in the wind story. That was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
They and their way out of that situation. That was absolutely hilarious.
Meanwhile, the mom is just sitting there like, what is happening? There's no storm.
There's no
I
storm.
can't say anything now because these two idiots are just going off about this crab that got blown off a rock and his eyes went wide.
That was hilarious. They yes and their way out of that situation. And then they're like, yeah, this is a totally an island way to predict weather. And then Frau's like, I don't know enough about this island to know whether or not that's wrong. So I'll just go with that.
But apparently you have service on the island, so you can just look it up.
Nope. It's fine. This is what we're doing. Well, the thing is that, like, they didn't know the storm was coming yesterday. And what Boo was part of what she was explaining when she came to give them the umbrellas and stuff and take them back to their hut was that, like, this time of year, it's monsoon season. So, like, storms can come out of nowhere. Like, that's part of the way the weather works this time of year. Like, that's how they got stranded there. So Fai was playing into that because she wanted more alone time with Prow, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then I want to talk about, like, so then they're trapped there the first night. So I want to talk about, like, when they share a bed, which I'm pretty sure there were 2 beds on that hut because, like, in the air, basically, Mom set up one of the beds for Blue, like, perfectly with a mosquito net. Fai didn't even fucking set up a mosquito net, you dumbass. She just, like, is whatever. Here's a blanket that's for me, and good luck, Prow. Fai's the worst. But anyway, Mom set up that whole thing for Blue, and then she's like, I'm gonna go sleep downstairs. And then Blue was like, no, stay with me because I don't want to be alone. So, like, there is a second bed. And then so Fai was like, didn't even elect to share that. And she was like, no, there's just the one. Again, it says a lot about
when
Fai.
she was like trying to sit on the stairs and sleep. But I guess maybe that was after she told her not to leave her.
I don't think Fai told Prow about the second bed in this hut. She was like, nope, we're sharing or you're sitting on the stoop. That was it. So anyway, so I like when Fai wakes up the next morning. Okay, again, shout out to NamneungNoey because I love the way I absolutely love her portrayal of Fai. Like, that is the Fai that I'm picturing when I was reading the books. It's even better than the Fai I was picturing because, like, honestly, like, when she wakes up, the range of emotions that Fai has and doesn't say anything. Okay, it's truly amazing. Absolutely love her portrayal of Fai because, like, when Fai first wakes up and realizes that Prow's holding her arm, again, this is what they did when they were kids. At first, Fai fidgets and looks like she's gonna bolt, like she's panicking, right? But, like, then you see Fai process her very big feelings, and after she processed them, she then decides to, like, still and stay and linger in this, like, peaceful moment. And then you can really see Fai without her walls up, and you see that she likes the closeness and she likes this very warm moment that they're having, and she just, like, stays in it. So much so that when Bua shows up, Fai shoos her away. Like, if Fai was really being malicious and vindictive and stuff, she would have let Bua wake everybody up and been like, Prow, get up. Like, it's time to get up. Like, she does not do that. She shoos Bua away. She very carefully, it's like the dog sleeping next to you. You have to, like, get up without just, disturbing the puppy sleeping. Fai does all that shit. That was unnecessary, right? So it goes to show you, like, how careful she actually is, like, when she's in control of her emotions kind of thing. So I like that. That was a good, like, seeing, again, the way the story goes, it's an onion model of storytelling. You see the first layer, but then you peel it back and you kind of see, and then you peel it back and you see the next layer until you get to the core of the onion, which is, like, that was a good core moment to, like, see who Fai really is, like, on the inside when she's not defensive, essentially, which is, like, all the time. Something I like about this that I thought was really fucking funny in the series was when they get the magic herbal juice and Prow drinks Fai under the table. That was probably one of my favorite scenes, again, because Prow's always being like, bitch, I'm the alpha. I know you think you're the alpha in this relationship, but you're not. And so I love that Prow puts her in her place by, like, out drinking Fai. That was hilarious.
I will say, in Fai's defense, she was drinking first.
Oh, yes.
So,
but the fact that Prow held her own was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Because then they were going shot for shot, and Prow's like, Yeah, no, bitch. I'm not your average bitch. I love that about Prowl. I love that. This is one of my favorite dynamics where the other partner is like, I'm not your average bitch. Let me reintroduce myself because you keep forgetting who I am. And it's like they keep outmaneuvering each other, and it's so fucking fun. All right, and so then she has to get a drunk ass Fai back to their hut or whatever, and then Fai does the "let me cling to you and we'll fall down and I'm gonna hold you here," and then you see how fucking clingy and whiny she is because that's who Fai is. And I like before their first kiss when Fai, you hear her be vulnerable. Okay, I know she's drunk. Okay, she's drunk. But you hear the way when they're coming out of the flashback and she says, "Do you really hate me that much?" And like the way she says it, it's very small. It's a very real, it's very real and she's being vulnerable actually in this moment when she says that. And then she says, "I'm sorry." Like, I know she's like using the alcohol as an excuse to say these things, but like I'm proud of her for saying it because it's very hard for her to say how she feels. Like you see it when they were in the hotel and she says, "I'm sorry I said bad things to you." And then Prowl's like, "Well, I'm used to you saying bad shit all the time." And then she goes in her room and then Fai again to the door says, "I'm really, really sorry." Like I like that she had to get the courage and the way to get the words out. And like I'm cool with using alcohol as a device for like very guarded characters to be
Yeah.
unguarded because that's real life.
Yeah, there was no way she could get that out at this point.
Correct.
Without something bringing her walls down.
Right, exactly. Wouldn't have made sense. So I'm glad she had the courage to even do it, even though she was like, using the alcohol to facilitate that. So I'm cool with that. Also love that their first kiss wasn't super romantic because they're disasters. So it made sense, honestly. And then, okay. Then we have the last thing I want to say about the episode 1 through 4 is the next morning. It's absolutely hilarious. First of all, it's cute and then hilarious. So I love when they wake up, okay, and you get the aerial shot of them like laying, like basically Prow's got her head under Fai's arm, and then Fai has her other arm wrapped around Prow and her leg, and then because she's a little spider monkey, and she's like a koala bear the way she's holding Prow, and then Prow has like one arm around Fai. So who has more clinging in this scene? It's Fai. Okay, so Fai wakes up first and then is like again happy about the scenario, and then she very subtly removes her arm and then sees Prow stir, and then she goes back to sleep to like let this moment last longer. And then Prow wakes up and Prow doesn't leave, she stays there, and then Fai, who can't help it, looks back to be like, is she still here? And then they see each other and spring apart like somebody shocked them. And then they immediately start arguing. And I love that Fai has the audacity in the argument to say, "Your arm was wrapped around me." And it's like, girl, you had your arm and your leg wrapped around her. Like, you're the guiltier culprit in this scenario. Like, you don't got shit to say to her, even though she tried. The audacity of Fai sometimes makes me laugh because I'm like, girl, take a look at
Yeah, she's very much do as I say, not as I do.
Yes. She's so fucking funny. Like the audacity of this woman. It's so funny. But yeah, overall, very strong first 4 episodes. I like the way they're keeping the pace of the story. It's very well shot, beautifully acted. I like the scoring. I think the music works. That they're using, like background music, how they're using music. They have pretty good like breakup of like serious shit and then humor. I think they're doing a good balance, even though this is primarily a drama. Because like Fai and Prow are naturally funny because they're just arguing all the time and ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I really am enjoying it so far.
I'm as well. I do really like the fact that they're giving us bits and pieces because that does make it more fun.
Agreed.
To go back and watch it. It gives you a reason to go back and watch.
Yes.
And it reminds you that people are people and like people are complicated and you're never going to know exactly who someone is because you can never see all of them because people are guarded and you have to really know somebody, and like through just getting different points of view and different flashbacks, that's how we're getting to slowly know Fai and other characters as well. And I'm just very curious to see how it'll develop even more throughout the next 4 episodes.
Yeah, I will say one of the things I really love about The Fire is everything you just said, and I will add that people are not perfect. That's the main message of this story, and that's one of the reasons I like it so much. And so I'm very excited to see the conclusion, and sad because I just love it. I'm so sad it's going to end, but also like I'm very excited to see it develop. I'm just really hoping North Star sticks with the OG story more so than going off the rails like they've done in the past. So fingers crossed. But you didn't read the novel, so you don't know what's going to happen. So what are your hopes and dreams to see
Okay.
in the remaining episodes?
So when I was rewatching, I was really focusing for some reason on the father's speech during the awards and how like people wanted him dead and like he survived an assassination attempt basically. And so I was like, maybe he's going to have another assassination attempt, or Fai is going to work her way up and they're going to try and assassinate Fai.
Damn, maybe.
Because yeah, he had that whole speech. But then as I was writing this, I'm like, wait a minute. What if Kaproa's dad died saving him during one of these attempts, and that's why he feels like he has to take care of her?
Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want a parallel of that. North Star might. You don't know. We don't have. You pointed it out. The sad fact that we don't have enough bodies yet for this to be a Thai girl love.
Yeah.
So they might start out.
My other theory
people,
that
people.
the aunt dies is still a thing too, because it's either that or she's going to cause a lot of problems when they do get together and be like try to make it about herself and try to toy with Fai's emotions. That's what I think. Yes, she says that she'll do anything for her and that she's always wants the best for her, but in that way it's also the best for her, for the aunt, because she wants Fai with her.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to really test the aunt's like what she said, like that she wants the best for Fai. Like it'll really test that statement.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next episode where Note shows up, because Jealous Fai is one of my fucking favorite things ever. So I'm very excited to get more of that. And my hope for the series is that we get at least one more scene of all the cousins together before we actually exit this, and like everybody, like all the wives, all the cousins. I'm hoping we get at least one big scene of them all together kind of interacting before we close this out. That is my one major hope and dream for the last couple episodes. I think Fai's wedding is probably where it would happen, if anything.
Yeah. I think that's what it would probably be. I hope they give the bouquet to Bua.
What if Bua, Modang, who are the other friends? And they're all there, and like they have to fight over it? That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, but like Bua. I feel bad for Modang though. Like we should have seen her more. Just saying.
Yes, we were robbed of Modang scenes from the canon, but you know, it's all right. She got a lot of screen time in the Earth. I'm not mad. Yeah. I'm not mad about that. I loved Modang. Modang was a great character.
Something else I noticed on a rewatch is that the father's girlfriend or second wife, I think it's girlfriend, she disappeared after the first episode so far. So I wonder if Fai will be more open-minded and like he'll actually have the courage to bring her around more. She'll move into the main house and that they'll live happily ever after together because Fai is more accepting.
Because Fai found love and understands. Oh, that's what the songs on the radio mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So like she finally stops getting in the middle of her father's life too, because that can't be easy. Like he really does cater to her in a way because he's like ousting all these people that he loves for her. So like that's a lot.
Yeah, we definitely need to do some healing in the last 4 episodes. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to learn to communicate somehow.
And also, we always need to learn
in their own ways.
Everybody needs to learn how to communicate. That's always the key. Will they go to therapy? Probably not. Should they? Probably.
I just have no idea how the hell Fai and Kaproa are going to end up communicating to each other that they like the other person. There has to, like, they have to. I'm still stuck with the getting trapped in the mine. However, now we know it's a cave on the island that they were in those scenes that we saw in the trailer. So, but I'm still like, maybe they get trapped in a mine.
It's still possible. They got to go back to work at some point.
Yeah. And like, there has to be a life or death situation that gets them to be like, I can't lose you.
Yes.
And
We
like,
must always have that. That's like a Tiger Love must. That will probably be in episode 7 because that's always when that happens.
Yeah.
So spoiler for episode 7 because that's always where the life or death drama happens. Yeah.
Maybe they'll be different and it'll be episode 6.
Maybe it'll be episode 5. Who knows?
Who knows?
All right. Well, there's only one way to find out. So I hope you enjoyed this review. We'll be back later to review the rest of the season after it has aired. So thank you for joining. If we missed something or there's something you want to comment on, please leave it in the comment section. We would love to hear from you. And until next time, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.